is the Transportation TV News Update. I'm Tony Dorsey reporting. In the headlines this week, U.S. Transportation Secretary Anthony Foxx announced that the Obama administration was sending a 4-year, $302 billion transportation bill to Congress. Spending in the president's bill, which is called the Grow America Act, is outlined in Obama's FY 2015 budget, released in late February. Grow America provides roughly $150 billion for transportation programs beyond the money raised from fuel taxes. The act would allow states to toll interstates and use the money to modernize and preserve the nation's aging highway system. Grow America also increases transit funding by 70%. Commuter railroads would benefit from $2 billion for the installation of safety technology designed to prevent major accidents, and $10 billion would be used to improve the nation's freight transportation systems. The plan also addresses the looming shortfall in the Highway Trust Fund. The administration says the $302 billion package can be paid for without adding to the deficit by relying on the president's proposed pro-growth business tax reforms. Reacting to the president's proposal, Bud Wright, executive director of the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials, said in a statement, "We are pleased that the administration has submitted legislation to Congress that emphasizes the urgent need to invest in America's infrastructure. We have stated previously that we support the policy framework established in MAP 21 and that we should implement the provisions of that law before making significant new programmatic changes. We support finding a long-term, sustainable source of revenue to support surface transportation investment. While we may not agree with all aspects of the administration's proposal, we look forward to the continuing dialogue with Congress and the administration on charting America's transportation future. Transportation interests remain concerned about the impacts to the nation's surface transportation infrastructure if the Federal Highway Trust Fund becomes insolvent, as projected this summer. Go to this AASHTO website to learn more about the looming Highway Trust Fund crisis, including potential state-specific impacts. In other news from Capitol Hill this week, the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee's panel on Public-Private Partnerships, or P3s, held a roundtable policy discussion featuring representatives from state transportation agencies in Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Florida. The state officials spoke about their agencies' experiences with P3s, including best practices. Here are a series of excerpts from the testimony delivered at the hearing.
In terms of lesson learned, clearly planning up front is very important. Strong state finances often produce more balanced deals. It's important to see the public engagement process as a part of every stage of the P3 development. And we are working always to increase competition at the end of the process.
We like the idea that through the P3 mechanism, the concessionaire's capital is tied up in the project for a long period of time. Therefore, their debt and equity is subject to deductions, it's subject to penalties, it's subject to default if they're unable to perform the types of tasks and deliver the outcomes that we're looking for in terms of service quality.
One of the things that I think people have come to understand is that P3 isn't a solution to funding. It's merely a procurement tool that allows us to deal with projects, I think, more efficiently and effectively and accelerate the delivery of projects. So again, that goes back to without the funding package, I think that had passed the Commonwealth this past year, there would have been probably minimal opportunity to do many capacity adding P3 projects because we wouldn't have had, frankly, the public share to bring to the table to support those projects.
Finally, just a comment on the federal government role. I mean, we've benefited greatly from TIFIA. It's been critical to the affordability of public-private partnerships and other non-public-private partnership projects we have in Florida. Private activity bonds as well, very important to tools for P3s. Certainly the federal government has a role in oversight for major projects, and we've worked through those processes and recognize the value there. And I just would encourage you all to consider that each state will have unique conditions and each project has unique circumstances when looking at P3s.
There are currently 33 states and 1 territory with enabling legislation authorizing the use of P3s for transportation projects. That's the Transportation TV News Update. Thanks for watching.